Hey everyone, welcome back to another Respawnables video. This is part 7 of my all weapons in multiplayer series. In this part, I'm going to start off using the Parade Shotgun. This gun was the first weapon to ever get a details button, and it came out in 2017 during the Carnival update. As you can see there, the details button is indicated by a little magnifying glass next to the equip button. But yeah, this gun came out during the 2017 Carnival update, and if you saw my last part, we already covered one of the weapons that came out in that update, the Poison Dart Handgun. This gun is not quite as good as that one, but it is still a pretty good weapon. It has 15 rounds in the clip, which is very nice, which, you don't really have to reload all that much with this gun. It has good damage and also has pretty decent range for a shotgun. As you can see there, you know, decent range, decent kill rate, very, very good weapon. And what's interesting about the gun is in the 2017 Carnival update, they also came out with 3 different Carnival masks. And depending on which Carnival mask you use with this gun, you get slightly different stat boost with the weapon. So that's pretty interesting. And Digital Legends never really incorporated this feature with any other gun in quite the same way. So now we move on to the next weapon, which is the Assault Rifle HEI Mark I, which is a lot better than the Parade Shotgun. I don't like this gun's name though. Assault Rifle HEI Mark I is just way too long and difficult to remember. I just call this thing the HEI. And I looked it up for this video. HEI apparently stands for High Explosive Incendiary, which if you take a look at the bullets that this gun fires, the animation, if you hit a wall, there's this little explosion that goes off. Now, don't get confused, it's purely cosmetic, so this is not an explosive weapon, doesn't deal any splash damage. It's strictly a fire-based gun, so, you're not going to counter this thing by using the Red Hero armor, for example. But it is a very good weapon. I wouldn't say quite as good as something like Rainbow's End or Battle Ram, but still very good. Just like Battle Ram, though, this gun does not have any damage drop-off, which means regardless of if you're standing right next to somebody or very far away, like right here, you're going to be dealing the same amount of damage to them. Really, the only variable that comes into play at that point is accuracy. And, with this gun, you could say that the accuracy may not be as good as with some other assault weapons in the game, but as you can see right there, it's still pretty decent. I hit most of those shots, so I don't think you're going to be running into too many issues with this gun. The HEI just has incredible stats overall, and it is also just an incredible gun, very overpowered, also very underrated, very underused. I mean, you compare this thing to Rainbow's End or Battle Ram, and those weapons just saw a lot more use in the game. It was also the third and final fire weapon to be added into the game before a burning effect was added to the next fire weapon that was added, which was the burning handgun. So only really 3 fire weapons that don't have a burning effect: the incinerator, the firecracker, and then the HEI that we just played with. So as you can see, we're on to the next gun. This is the top event weapon from Carnival 2017, the Maskaleon Rifle, originally named Maskaleon Rifle with an E instead of an A. And this is a play on words, of course. It combines the words mask as well as chameleon. And that's because this gun, once again, is affected by the different Carnival masks. But unlike the Parade Shotgun, where it just kind of slightly altered that weapon's performance, with the Maskaleon Rifle, it just completely changes the way the weapon works. You have different, firing modes. So the footage that you saw of the weapon, you saw the Assault mode, which is if you don't have one of the Carnival masks equipped. If you equip the Supply Carnival mask, the pink one, you get a Rifle mode. If you equip the Aggressive Carnival mask, the orange one, you get an SMG mode, which, obviously has a little bit less range. But if you equip the Wind Carnival mask, the green one, you get the Sniper mode, which is arguably the best mode of the weapon because it still retains the auto-aim, but it's a one-shot kill. So that was very overpowered when it came out. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't have any footage recorded of those different modes here in multiplayer, since I'm just kind of sticking with the same clothes that I am wearing throughout this entire series. But yeah, so now we're on to the Shield-Wielder. This is the first weapon from the St. Patrick's Day update from 2017. And it's a heavy machine gun, as you can see. And with this one, you move around super, super slow. Much slower than some of the other heavy machine guns that we've played with a little bit more recently, like minigun or triple barrel Gatling. This one, you just move around very slow. But it does have the fastest kill rate of those weapons. And you also, if you equip that gun, you automatically get a 10% health increase, which is kind of interesting. So now we're on to the second one, which is the Lucky Rifle. And as you can see there, I got a headshot on that guy using the red hero armor. And what that did is it basically gave me a damage boost. And once again, all of these like hidden mechanics are, you can find them within the details button that we talked about earlier. So yeah. Now, in the description, it actually says that you have to get a long-range headshot, but that, I guess that's glitched because I got the headshot at close range and it still gave me the damage boost. So I don't know if that's glitched, but you know, it works in your favor, so I'm not going to complain about that. So this is the Lucky Rifle. You know, you move around a lot faster than you do with the Shield-Wielder, that's for sure. And 25 rounds. It's a very good weapon. Just not really all that interesting, I would say. I guess, you know, the passive skill that you got with the headshot mechanic giving you the damage boost kind of makes it a little bit more interesting, but overall just not very, you know, not very interesting, this weapon. It's kind of similar, I guess, to the veteran machine gun as far as fire rates and just overall kill rate. But I think that one still has just a little bit better range. Of course, that gun also has a scope. But yeah, we do pretty well here with this gun. As you can see, we're just wrecking everybody. I mean, the people I got in this lobby, first of all, there's only 2 people. And they're kind of noobs, as you can see right there. I mean, what is that guy doing? I don't know what that guy was doing, but yeah. We still ended up killing him before he could even kill himself, so. And as you can see, this Talha guy is constantly swapping to the weapon that we are using. So he swapped to the Shield-Wielder before, and now he's also using the Lucky Rifle, as you can see. There, we got another headshot on him. And that gave us the damage boost, but unfortunately there wasn't anybody else to really use it on. So yeah, I think we're going to move on to the next weapon as soon as this match is over. And as you can see, we're still using the spotters with the Cyber Ninja Greaves, which gave us the 25% gadget cooldown reduction, which is very handy. And we swap here to the next weapon, the top event weapon from 2017 St. Patrick's Day. This is the Big Kaboom. And this one's interesting because this is the first charged weapon in the game. This is the first weapon with this sort of a mechanic where you can hold down the button without firing and basically just charge up your shot to make it more powerful. And I would say this one is actually probably my favorite one out of these charged weapons. It's just, I think, a little bit more interesting than some of the later ones they added into the game, like the charged stun rifle or even the bows. I think this one's just a little bit more cool. And I remember when this gun came out, actually before you could obtain it, I was just very intrigued by this weapon because I didn't know what type of weapon it would actually be. I thought maybe it could be like a launcher, but it ended up being a shotgun. But yeah, the Big Kaboom, very powerful. You could say it's overpowered. I think it's not, you know, it's definitely not as overpowered as something like Aristocrat's shotgun, where you just hold down the button and automatically fire anyway. With this one, you do have to kind of time it a little bit. And, you know, if you just tab the gun, if you just tab the fire button, you're not going to deal much damage at all. And this gun does have limited range. You know, if it had unlimited range like the bows, you know, that's going to be overpowered. So, now, sure, this gun is still kind of overpowered, but it does, you know, nerf it a little bit in that regard. And as you can see there, we get hit by the Zapper. We get slowed down there. We played with that weapon in the previous video. And so yeah, now we swap to the next gun, the Little Friend, from the second April Fool's Day event. And unfortunately with this one, I think I kind of forgot that I was doing this challenge, because I think I die numerous times using this gun and still end up playing with it. So, I apologize for that, but we're going to stick with this gun for quite a bit. And that's because there's going to be a player joining us in this lobby very soon. That was a nice kill right there, kind of leading my shot. But there's going to be a hacker joining pretty soon. And he's just going to be, ruining this match. He's going to kill us in one shot every time. And, he has unlimited range, wall hacks, unlimited health. So yeah, he joins us right here. He has a very interesting name as well. And, as you can see, clearly a hacker. He's got the Chase jersey on as well. So yeah. This is just, what you had to deal with at the end of the game's lifetime, which is unfortunate. Digital Legends really didn't, ever deal with the hacker issues in this game. And, that's unfortunate because hackers have plagued the game pretty much throughout the game's lifetime. I mean, there were times where it was better, but, I still remember in 2016 when they released the ghost clam traps from the 2016 Ghostbusters update. And, those were eventually nerfed, but at release, those were incredibly overpowered. And people would just hack the game to get unlimited amounts of them and just spam those everywhere. So, yeah. Hackers have really plagued the game in a big way throughout the game's lifetime. So as you can see here, we finish up the match using UBGL-Barretti from the 2017 Easter update. And that weapon, I think it's the first weapon to get an active skill. So that one was the first weapon to get an active skill. And we already, I showed you how that worked. The grenade launcher mechanic there. And once again, Royal Gardens. And this guy's still here, unfortunately. And as you can see, now we're playing with the Hunter handgun, also released during the 2017 Easter update. And this handgun may be the only one in the game that has a scope. I think it is. So that makes it quite a bit different from other handguns in the game. This is more like a sniper pistol. So you move around a lot slower, but it is going to be a one-shot kill most of the time. So yeah, now we move on to the top event weapon from the 2017 Easter event, the third egg hunt. This is the anti-tank Type 33. And I don't really like this gun. It's kind of boring in my opinion. It's just a very overpowered one-shot kill, low skill, weapon that you move around pretty slow with. And similar to the Shield-Wielder, which we played with previously, it also gives you a passive perk, a passive health increase. But with the Shield-Wielder, you get a 10% health increase. And with the anti-tank Type 33, you only get a 7% health increase. So not as good. So now we move on to the next gun. This is the Stun Blaster. As you can see, this guy's just shooting my dead body right now. But yeah, this one is the second gun that was ever released with an active skill. So UBGL-Barretti was the first one, and then this gun was the second one, alongside the dual Stun Blasters as well as the next weapon we're going to play with. So, and all three of these guns have the stun active skill. So similar to the MIB Neuralizer that has been in the game since 2013. So if you're close to somebody and then you press the button, you'll stun them and they can't fire back at you. They'll move slowly as well. So unless they're using an item in the game that nerfs the stun effect, and there are a few items in the game that do that, so that's certainly possible. But most of the stuns in this game were actually caused by the stun grenades, I would say, because they were free, they cost cash, whereas these weapons were all paid, and so were the MIB Neuralizers too. The stun grenades, they function a little differently. You can throw them, you get a little bit better range out of them, but the caveat is that you can also stun yourself using them. So that's a little bit of a trade-off, comparing the stun grenades with the Neuralizer or with these guns. But yeah, so now we're using the dual ones. 40 rounds in the clip is actually pretty good. And as you can see right here, the guns also have incredible range. I think the single stun blaster is just a little bit more accurate. But I don't know. I don't really play with these guns all that often. I never did. Because I don't know when I got these guns, but I certainly didn't get them at release. You know, these guns came out during the Cyber Menace update of 2017. And that update really changed the game in quite a noticeable way. 2017 changed the game in a lot of ways, but this update introduced the weapon classifying system, which told you what type of weapon each gun was, as well as the damage type it dealt. Now, at release, this was kind of broken. I remember Zap Gun, instead of the assault rifle icon, it had a handgun icon, which didn't make any sense. As well as there were some other guns that, you know, had some odd icons that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But yeah. So as you can see, now we're using the charged stun rifle, the third weapon that has this stun ability. And later on, they also added another weapon that has this stun ability, this stun active skill, which I think is the AR Lux, which is a weapon that we're not going to play with for a very long time since it was added, I think, during the second Cyber Tarantula update, which, you know, I think that's like 2019. So it's going to be a while before we get to the 2019 weapons since we're still in fairly early 2017. But yeah, we're playing with the charged stun rifle right here. This is the second charged weapon in the game. So, you know, a weapon that you have to charge up your shot with. And as you can see there, great range with the weapon. And that's why at some point in time, I actually thought that this gun was possibly the most overpowered weapon in the game. But as you can see right here, that's definitely not the case. You know, it can be a one-shot kill, but it takes a long time to get to that point. You know, it takes a long time to charge up your shots in order to get a one-shot kill. As you can see here, I charged my shot for, you know, a couple seconds maybe, and it still took 2 shots to kill that noob. So the final weapon for today's part is going to be the Energy Stinger, a very overpowered launcher included in the Wasp set, once again from the 2017 Cyber Menace update. And we only got 1 kill with it there, it's the end of the match, but very overpowered weapon with a massive blast radius similar to Thumper. Thank you all for watching part 7 in this series. In the next part, we'll start playing with the top event weapon, the Vet 3000 Atom. So I'll see you in part 8. Bye.